koti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solution siya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalon ko acid yota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalon ko acid yota aya dada aya senandi men se beta alla jata kende ato fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalon ko acid chemical o bonnino jiol kono le men se beta alla jata kende filter mi mboko CTO block carbon men si jiola chemical o be bondi akono pour que alla jata kende sa hen nim filter sabol be kiliwo kilina pansundoku na wata tankol fana sotale kabirim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fana be mol bulle alsemol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala isimol kumandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jiku be sonende gambia banko.
Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I'm your host, Jennifer Sonko. Thank you so much for joining us, Ibrahima.
Good morning.
Man hanga ñu fi nekk ñooñu dañ ñoo reeloo balaa programme bi door waaye it's okay su ko defee suñ smile bi continue rek through the programme
baax na pour ñu refresh brain si refresh yaram bi balaa ñoo dugg si programme
waaye looy xaar ba ñoo dem on set nga téye sa kaas yi di naan kaas bi yàgg na fee tegu naanuloo nga xaar bañ nekk go nga ekkati ko di jaay fi ndaanaan lii mooy lan non man mënumaa digest li
di ko ndaanaan
soo Monday bi naka nga ko doxalee woon démba
waa démba activité yi dañ bëri woon. ok because after work. demoon naa si dëj bi. mooy faal. lamen. jéena ba daw na yaram. musuma gis dëj bu bëri nit. comme noonu. so loolu mu ngi laa won ne. amoon na connection.
ak nit ñi
bëri. te loolu baax rek a ko mën.
wax dëgg
ndaxte soo gisee ñëpp bàyyi seen soxlay daw. dem foofu noonu xamal ne. dañ ko yëg daf leen yëg. ba
pare man one thing lu ma apprécier ci media Gambia mooy lu xew rek dañ ko dee bokk.
waaw and I was surprised to see. almost all the media house.
waaw
comme ñun ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ci media bi. mit nañ foofu.
wax
ñi nga xam ne sax da nga leen doon dégg doo leen gis.
loolu laa wax ni
ñun ñëpp tase nañ foofu. am nañ a very like peaceful time. although funeral la waay. comme jaamalante
ngeen waaw waay daje yi sax traditionally loolu la dee gën a mun a indi su ko defee ñëpp mun a come together waaye anyway ñu ngi ñaanal gaay
yàlla yërëm leen suuf sedda seen kaw
lu si gën a métti rek mooy life goes on man loolu laa dee wax man loolu si gën a métti the fact ne xam nga no matter what life has to go on métti na daal soo ko xalaatee métti na waaye comme ni nga ko waxee rek Pa Modou nekk na nit koo xam ne yow nit ñi yëpp lu baax rek lañ am pour wax si moom
gis nga ñun we are not perfect yàlla si boppam daf ko wax si Quran bi because moom moo ñu saaka xam nañu
wax dëgg
mu ne doomi aadama dama ko saaka mu ngi weak he is weak léegi moo tax dañ war a góorgóorlu we are not perfect waaye ñu góorgóorlu daal
especially man dama dee wax ne diggante nit ak nit lu am solo la because gis nga Pa Modou Fall xaw ma leneen de waaye diggante nit ak nit yi moom macha allah parce que man
am nañ ci yaakaar
bi ko man démba rek maa la ko wax koo xam ne xamuloo ko from Adam
waaw
just gis da nii ngay try jéemantu laay wax nii de mu ekkati téléphone ne la yow gën a la puus si dara yow xam nga loolu yomb so te loolu defal na ko ñeneen ak ñeneen ñoom Mamadou Gadiaga ngi nii bu ñoo door depuis 2008
wax dëgg yàlla affaire si daw na yaram waaye nag ñu ngi koo ñaanal moom ak ñu jiitu yëpp yàlla yërëm leen ba pare yàlla dimbale ñu comme lu mel ni tam mu géej
comme road traffic accident
dee si accident dafa garaaw
dafa miiti de waaye comme ni ma ko waxee maa ngi gis the transport and infrastructure ministry ñu ngi joxe ay bagage naan loolu dina wécci lu bëri hopefully dina wécci lu bëri parce que man ay joxe bagage di feeñ télé xam nga loolu dafa yomb
ñoom mun nañoo joxe bagage waaye tam it's important pour ñu change suñ attitude si
dafa mata
bu nekkee tey driver nga yaa ngi war a bend yaa ngi dawal moto ngay bend si 60 or 70 loolu mun naa cause accident yow soo laalut nit mun ngaa bàyyi yoon bi because amoon na benn time fooñi benn moto moo bàyyi yoon bi dem dugga si biir benn kër si biir néeg mu rey fa meer ba léegi su ma àggee point boobu
danga ko dee remember
xalaat loolu noonu
ba pare xam nga lii sometimes dama dee wax ne yi fi maa tey la because gis nga agencies yi nii this UN agencies ak ñoom ActionAid ak yeneen agencies yi seen driver yi dañ leen dee wax spécifique fuñ mun a am jinne jàpp la dofeewuloo ko
compagnie sax
waaw nga daw noo xam ne waruloo koo dawee man daal dama fii ne sometimes nit ñi ñoo dee just jël
xanaa xamuloo mun nañoo track suñ moto yi as companies because tey moto compagnie da ngaa gis yaa amee moto bu ees pick-up bu ees nga daw noo buggee loolu mun nañ koo track mun nañ koo defaral mileage bu moo dem bu nekkee 60 la 70 driver bi lu mu daw du mun a romba foofu noonu man
dama dee wax ne def leen ni maa def man su ma jëlee suma taxi suma xaalis laa la fay su ma duggee dama laa ne driver man lii xaw ma lii man xaw ma lii de damaa daw ndànk waxuma du ma dee de waaye tamit damaa trial suma bopp
bu nekkee yow kenn yaa nekk si moto
dangaa daw ni ma ko buggee
non bu nekkee comme driver bi rek la
waaw
moom moo xam baaxul de waaye
non driver bi su ko neexee na daw 100 xam nga moo amee bakken
ñu ne the life you save might be
yoos ba pare sax waruta am sax parce que at the end of the day yow nooy dawee noonu mun ngaa dem affect keneen ak keneen so man daal sometimes dama ko dee téere fi maatee drunk driving yu bëri moo nekk di xew
responsibility la
nit ñi daal respect guñ suñ trafic bi at all in as much as dañ dee wax ne government bi dañ war a def lii def la li waaye si biir si nit ñi la
Janaba I traveled to I was going up country I was going to Wasu and Kiribati ñu ngi amee GT board pick up bi ñu ngi dem benn boy gele mu bàyyi yoon bi rek ñu egg si dóor suñu pick up bi si gën a pom de boobu laa xam ne accident yombut it's not easy like that de
du dee yomba
de boobu laa xam accident yombut
non accident yombut
it was like man si man dafa mel nii sax moto bi dañ ko téye ñu sànni ko gis nga vibration bu mu def it was crazy
considering koo xam ne moto yu ko laaj
break sam yaa fiil moto yoo leen a gis ñuy daw yëpp ñu bëri si ñoom seen
break si baaxuñ am na ñoo xam ne amuñ light moto yi ñu koo feesal
yaa ngi dawal moto nga war a signal ma xam ne ok kii dafa bugg a taxaw ma wàññi suma tànka pour ma durwaate ni ñu dem yow signaluloo nga daw rek def nii suma kanam nga
def lu la neex
ma ñëw egg sa kaw
def lu la neex
sometimes it's a problem
nit ñaa ngee dee de am nit ñi ni ñoo deeyee si accident sax moo ëppa feebar yi ñu fi am
definitely
moo fi ëppa te comme Gambia we rank 10 so foog naa ne daal war nañoo mën a change lii kon yow daal sa Monday bi dafa mel ni busy woon na man tamit amoon naa
balaa maa kër it was very late
man tam amoon naa a busy Monday démba usually dama dee read news 8 pm waaye démba gis ngeen ne Ansoumana Eso ñaasi read news te kontaan naa si torop su ko defee ñu ne xale bi bëggut télé
mu noppal la
xale bu bëgg a télé So moving on, let's give you a rundown of some of the things that we have for you today. As usual, we have the African proverb, we have the newspaper review. Our guest will join us soon, Said Matijau, to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. And on Community Watch, we'll be heading right on to the Independence Stadium in Bakau to take a look at the preparations underway when it comes to the presidential inauguration. Yesterday, we were joined by Auntie Amibojang Sisoho, Director of Press at the State House, and they did explain to us some of the plans. One thing that really caught my attention is the fact that the media decided to join hands, which is a very good thing. The media decided to come together to just join, to just make sure that we have amazing coverage. Looking forward to that. And on Sports World, we'll be joined by Ade Drami to take us through what is happening in the world of sports. And on Click segment as well, we will just take you through what is happening in the world of entertainment. So Ibrahim, what is our African proverb today?
Well, Jenna, but the African proverb we have today is a bit complicated. I don't understand. I don't even want to...
Okay, Mune, it's a bit complicated.
Well, I don't want to go deep.
You don't want to go deep?
No.
Why don't you read talk? Man, nak African proverb, daf mani.
Tey duma dem deep.
Daf ñu dee put si spot bi.
Tey duma dem deep. Tey moom.
Waaw.
Xaw ma understand ma.
Waaye Said Mati Jaw mu ngi ñëw bu boobaa ñu riidal ko African proverb bi moom ñu test fu ay kiwam toolu.
Even though as the Asha loves the arrow that flies, so too he loves the bow that remains constant in his hands.
Waaw, waaye loolu dañ ko balance rek am na lum la won de.
Waaw.
Buga nga arrow bi nga use.
Waaw.
Waaye yow as the archer.
Waaw.
Bow bi nga amee tamit buga nga mu remain constant.
Waaw.
So loolu mu ngi laa won ne.
Mu ngi waaw.
Yow the archer. mooy control fu arrow bi di dem.
Non man sax so dama amee different interpretation. Mu ngi mel ni. As much as.
Waaw.
yaa ngi amee gànnaay. pour xeex. That doesn't means ne yow bugga nga xeex am. xam nga tey soo amee boo nga saani ko. Understand nga dem na. waaye ba léegi yow you love that to remain in your hands because bugguloo pour mu dem da ngaa gis sometimes suñ soldier yi sax. dañ laa ne ñoom ñaanuñ xeex mu am. ñaanuñ da ngaa gis ku ne soldat yéen soldat yi da ngeen a toog fi defu leen dara. soldat yi ñu ne nit ñi dañ ne ñun defuñ dara waaye ñun ñaanuñ ne yéen ngeen gis ñun fu ñoo defee dara
waaw waaye comme lii in a way tam mu ngi laa won ne xam nga boo dafa sob xam nga aaro dafa sob aaro lu sob la
ku ko amee moo gën a sob
waaw waaye
kooku moo ko dee sànni
dafa des si ki ko amee pour mu contrôle fan la aaro bi di dem
fu moo
land yow yaa ko contrôle so loolu mooy wane ne in life yow am na adventures yoo bëgg a jël waaye tam risky na waaye yaa ngi see séntu something positive tamit
man am a bit confused xam nga suñ gan bi dina ñu mun a dimbale man these are not the proverbs that I'm used to
Balde
munuma understand
waaye fi mu ne nii maa ngi jéem a balance seet mati
non sa balance
ñu ma yangum ko rek
balance bi is not very solid
dafa solid de dafa solid de dafa solid de it says mu ne as the archer loves the arrow that flies so too he loves the bow that remains constant in his hands. So this is kind of showing that as wild as an arrow can be, that they rely si bow bi ak archer bi pour fan la moo dal. How much yaa ngi understand? Welcome to the program, Said Mati.
Thank you.
Mu ne bëggut a agree ak man suma ana waaye man dafa mel ni maa ngi on track de.
Non dama convince ma bu baax. Xam nga dama bëgg mu convince ma. Pour ma mun a understand. Wax naa ko ne man I am confused.
So Said Mati.
Understand ma
bii dafa ne even as the archer. Archer bi si boppam loves the arrow that flies. So too he loves the bow that remains constant in his hands. So if the hanga bow bi so constant today. Moom mi ko control as the archer, you can't direct fan la lead, although mun loo direct fi moo dem.
Yeah, I mean the bow moo nekk the launching part.
Exactly.
You know, bow bi moo nekk the launching part of the arrow. Maybe mun ngaa ñàkk one arrow, but you can have extra arrows yoo xam ne mu ngi fa, and then you still need the bow.
Waa léegi man lu ma nekk di wax mooy ñaaka arrow boobu noonu moo nekk bugguta arrow moo nekk bugguta xam nga situation mooy tax nga arrow maybe da nga nekk si woo o da nga nekk si lifin nga jël fetel mun boobi mun naa nekk fetel mun naa nekk lu ne
xam nga ne boo ak arrow bi ñoo dee ànda like to launch it mu ngi wax fly now ak yooyu noonu so in terms of the moral lesson perhaps it could be
te mu ngi laa woon ne archer bi nga xam ne moom moo ko war a moom moo amee boobi amee arrow bi understand nga te in as much as bugga na arrow bi and he's using it for whatever why the consistency of the bow tamit dafa mata loolu la nekk di woon fii
loolu it matters waaye xam nga bu nekkee ne saaniwut loolu mu ngi mel ni ba léegi si situation bële there will be peace
déedéet foog mu dem déedéet waaye in this instant mu ngi laa woon ne boobi dafa am pour dem
non waaye su demee
waaye yow yaay control xëy na fu moo land ba pare sometimes mu ngi laa woon foo ne because
always soo saane sa
am na different interpretation on the other hand when I looked it up maa ngi gis ne it's also talking about adventures that you want to take and you want to see positive results in as much as arrow bi lu sop la te mun na moo dem foo xam ne santuloo ko waaye still you're expecting positive result from it loolu la nekk di woon fi mu nekk nii loolu la proverb bi di woon.
And then if you still have the bow, you can even launch another opportunity. I mean, like
it depends on your individual bi.
Maanaam ku ko nekk di saane bugat a miss.
waaw waaye yow tamit from your perspective yaa ngi ko xoolee from a hair perspective.
waaw waaye soo jëlee hair bi nag.
so hair perspective bi of course ñu bëri I mean ñu bëri bëgguñoo hair. so they prefer to be. you know in
dañ bugga comme tey bu nekkee 10 bullets la amee. ñu jox ma 10 bullets. ma amee ko si suma post. tey. Buga naa su ma wàccee liggéey ma delloo 10 bullets yi.
True waaye in this instant xam nga bi life lesson
pour may ñëw ma delloo ay 5 bullets ak yooyu noonu. waaw loolu su ma ko dee xamal ne jaama amut.
True waaye bii xam nga bi life lesson la nekk di woon nii.
exactly
xam nga bi it's different because it's like a life lesson.
waaye moom mu ngi focus on the bullet rek.
the bullet and what it would
na leen laa ko mun a understand.
Anyway, man, I'm always excited about the African proverb because balde dum sa nangu te bane duma nangu.
No, xam nga African proverb bi. Sometimes daf dey confusing.
Waaye moo si neex nag.
Waaw.
Moo si neex su boobaa ñu seet different scholars, different people luñ wax. And then suñ ko boolee together dinañ mën a debate ñu agree.
Xam naa ñu ñoo seetaan tam dañ war a try ñu seet ñoom tam luñ wax.
I always talk about that. Go onto our YouTube and our Facebook page and tell us what you think about the African proverb. Waaye comme Mr. Ade dum ko dee waxee sometimes daf dee ne bi saf na de bi moo bi dafa métti. Sometimes ñu jël African proverb yu métti rek sànni ñu ko. So but anyway, I love it and thank you so much for joining us, Said Mati. It's always good to have you here. So we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the newspaper review. Do stay tuned.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my amazing co-host Ibrahim Balde. So after our heated debate on our African proverb, now we're heading right on to the newspaper review. That's Forea.
Yes. Let's take a look at the headlines of the Forea newspaper. And of course, lawyer for General Saul Baji challenges legality of his detention. Supreme Court affirms their decision on UDP's election petition case. And of course, road accident claims lives of 3, including 2 journalists. Groundnut trade season 2021-2022 in the Fonies.
Okay.
Yes, and Soninkara Foundation appeal for Islamic Council intervention. National Audit Office says over 10 million worth of unpresented voucher at BAC. Become Area Council.
Yeah, so moving on The Voice, we have IEC announces date for National Assembly elections for constituencies. And also gender activists demand more seats in bill for women at Parliament. And also evicted traders speak amid OIC road project, which is expected. And High Court to deliver verdict in Saul Baji and Co trial. And the media fraternity mourns death of colleagues Pamodu Fall and Musandao. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Said Mati. I think it is just important that we start with the parliamentary elections, considering we have 2 headlines here in front of us as the IEC announces date for the National Assembly elections for constituencies in April. And here, women activists are demanding for more seats in the parliament. But just generally, what are you looking forward to this National Assembly elections, considering NPP came out victorious, and just looking at the other points for other political parties?
I mean, I think to start with, it's important to state that the National Assembly election, if not, I mean, is the most important election that we're going to be getting into, because we're talking about, you know, the House of the People, that meaning that it is the people that need to be represented so that their voice could be heard. And that's why, I mean, as IEC has announced the date now, on the 9th of April, we'll be going out to elect our MPs. And therefore, I think it is important that we all come out, just like we did with the presidential election, to ensure that we do, because the laws that govern us is being made by these people. And therefore, it is important that we elect people that we know are capable of, you know, running the affairs of the state. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to a lot of sensitization coming from CSOs, because I went up country, I spoke to a lot of women there, a lot of young people, and they still do not even know the roles of parliamentarians. It's quite sad.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, you know, within our context, we see presidential election as the most important election, and because these national elections are also local, meaning like it is only existing within the constituency level. I mean, the vibrancy of politics within a constituency can also determine. Usually, we've seen before, it is mostly the diehards of party supporters that only turns out to vote. But I also think because people do not understand the role and the importance of the National Assembly, and that's why for civil society organizations and the National Council for Civic Education, even the IEC, it's important that we continue to engage the public to keep telling them why it is important to turn out to vote during this National Assembly election.
So further down to that as well, gender activists, Ibrahim, are calling, are demanding for more seats in bill for women at parliamentary level. Yeah. I mean, like if you look at our current, I mean setup within the parliament in terms of its gender relations, you realize that even less than about 10% or less than 10%, and some nominated,
are women, and maybe only 3 were elected, and therefore I think, I mean, it is generally agreed that we need more women in parliament, because having more women in parliament will also help, you know, bring issues that are very significant to women, who are also half of our population, or more than half of our population, and therefore they need voice within the National Assembly. So I think this proposed bill will, you know, address some sort of the gap that exists within this framework, and I think that's why the activists are pushing for that, and I hope the politicians will support that, because having more women in parliament is advantage to the country.
Yeah,
exactly, very important.
yeah.
I'll just take you back a little. It's important. You've mentioned something very important. That is not only electing National Assembly members, but electing competent National Assembly members, which are very important. Previously, we've seen the elections of National Assembly members in office, but situations of people still remain the same in other parts of the country.
Yeah. I mean, so sometimes, like for me, I blame it more on the way our state is kind of structured. I think, I mean, it's not the role of the National Assembly to bring development to communities. Their job is limited. It's specific to laws. It's specific to ensuring that they provide that oversight on government. I mean, the way to get development to the communities is through local government. That's why politics at that local level must be local. I mean, and what that requires also is for the state to decentralize power, to ensure that, for instance, KMC is given enough resources, Basse Area Council, all this, and then so that they can bring this development to the people. Because what the people are demanding is, I mean, water, public services basically. And so if the National Assembly role is to approve the budget and all those things, then those that are supposed to implement definitely must be doing the work.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, it just goes down to understanding.
Exactly.
People are like yet to understand what these people, and it's fraud for me that people who vie for this position don't tell their electorates the truth. Because they don't.
Yeah, some of them don't even understand their role. They think their role is to construct roads. I mean, of course, you can lobby for your constituency through budgetary processes and all those different stuff, perhaps. But then, I mean, we need to separate who does what. And and then so that we can have that clear governance line. So at the end of the day, people will get to know, and then they will vote for National Assembly based on the fact that these are people that can go before the country and also defend the interests of the country.
Yeah, and for me, the National Assembly is the most important, arm for me, considering that all of these laws that they have to put across, they need to be versatile, they need to be educated, But anyway, I won't delve into that to that extent because I don't want to be attacked.
I mean, no, there's also one aspect that we also do not tend to, like I said, politics within the National Assembly is local. And so within a constituency, people will tend to elect people that have been very visible to them. And it doesn't matter, sometimes it doesn't matter whether this one is educated or not.
They don't even
they
look
meet
at
the
that.
requirement. Yeah, because then, of course, politics also, you need somebody that is always available. And sometimes that's the reason. But in case like while you are also, when they are elected, I mean, the expectations in terms of the monies and all those things, the, transactional nature of our politics makes it difficult also for them to deliver.
And the saddest part is the National Assembly, they have different committees. And different committees require expertise in these committees. IEC, PAC, or something, all of these things. So how can you just take anybody? How can they question? How can they hold public parastatals accountable? So we have to be realistic at some point when it comes to these things. So moving forward, I just hope that people understand that these people need to have a little bit of expertise to be able to make the right decisions for us. So the next headline here is expected, and it's been happening, which is evicted traders speak amid OIC road project. Well, it's just obvious that people have to react to these things.
Yeah, I think I was here when they were, removing people, I think, some time ago. And some of the issues that we talked about was, of course, when the public interest comes, I mean, we need to focus on that. But of course, people that have been there, I mean, there needs to be some ideas or thinking around what's going to happen to them. And it seems like even though those things were promised, I mean, I'm not seeing those things. That's why we're seeing people complaining about that. Of course, I mean, we know the country is hard. I mean, people are trying to make ends meet. Therefore, the role of the government, as much as they are focusing on public interest, is also to try to see how best they can have other alternatives for vendors. I mean,
I'm looking forward to that, Ibrahim.
Exactly. Well, it's a bit difficult because things like this, people must talk. I mean, some people must have things to say. But I would also love if, all right. Yes, we'll take a, we have a
Yeah, we have a breaking
news,
news, is
yeah,
it?
exactly.
So we are informed that Steve Tarawale has left the camp and went back to his club, unfortunately. And we believe that this is because he's not been playing for 2 consecutive matches, and probably he might not play for Tunisia. Oh, okay. So this is based on an injury. I'm not sure coming from where, considering he did not play for 2
GFF
consecutive
and
matches.
It's a knee injury.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
According to GFF.
According to GFF, it's not because he did not play for 2 consecutive matches.
Yes.
Okay, so we take that back then. This is based on an injury. I'm just wondering where the injury is coming from, because here it says that he was included in both match day squads as we begin our campaign with a win and a draw against Mauritania and Mali, respectively. The forward claimed an ankle injury and did not train yesterday, which means he's claiming, then they're not sure, is it?
Yeah.
Claim, we're not sure if he has a knee injury or not. It's not confirmed. And he has returned to his club this morning for urgent treatment. The national team, including the head coach and his technical staff, as well as the GFF, would like to thank him for his services to the national team and wish him a speedy recovery. This is what the GFF is saying. But when they say claim, that's the part I'm confused about, which means that has not been confirmed.
Well, yeah, we're not sure until we are sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not sure, so we can't jump into conclusion on that one.
Let's continue. People talking about certain things, the government did not do these things for them. For me, I think it's important for us to consider national interest, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
We have so many problems like this in this country, whereby we are supposed to put up roots. I mean, and due to people, you cannot even do anything. I mean, the roads are tight, you know. I can remember when the OIC roads project started, you know, a whole lot of people complain, a whole lot of things. But at the end of time, this will benefit the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said when the nation calls, the people must answer to the nation. But of course, for me, how I see it, what our problem is the problem of planning. Is the problem of, I mean, how we are developing this country. I mean, like I just look at the Senegambia or Batil Hadin Highway. I know that if government was thinking that thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people would be migrating towards the that end, they should have planned properly. And I think, I mean, people have no business to be on there, but at the end of the day, of course, they are looking for opportunities that are not being provided. I think what government needs to do is to plan the urban area more, you know, better, in a way that it will identify places for selling, identify places for garage. Garage is even a problem in this country. I mean, people stay everywhere, even the cars that we are fighting for to pass. I mean, they're not properly packed. So there are a lot of issues that needs to be discourse, but I also think this is where local government is also central, where we give more power, you know, more opportunity for the local government to start dictating what happens at their local level.
Okay, let me take you to the condition of our roads. I mean, it's a struggle when people are coming to work, to and fro. It's a problem.
Yep.
The traffic is low, you know, people are suffering. So what do you think should be done in the case of the Mamadi Madiang Highway from Jimpex to Brikama? What should be done? Should it be expanded, or should other roads be created? What do you think?
I mean, I'm not the road expert. I'm just more like I want road, I want to pass. So I'm not sure, but of course, I think, I mean, government might want to start investing in feeder roads. Roads that will, for me, I like to take, you know, the ruhas just to get over where I'm going. Like for instance, I mean, going to Birkama using the same highway. From Joko, you can go all the way to Talending, Abuko
police station.
Abuko. So why not like start looking at these routes that are connecting, try to see how best you can make them you know, accessible, so that vehicles can start using that, while we think about, you know, long-term options that perhaps involve expanding the roads or building different aspects of it.
I think this would be a lesson for any government, because when they started doing those roads, maybe 91 or something, they should have expanded the road. I mean, they should have, I mean, think like they should have this, that people would come and settle in these areas.
You know, when you're looking at development planning, you need to look at it within the population. What is the population today? What is it going to be in 20 years? What is going to be 30 years? You plan your development along that, so that, you know, we'll not wait until the population turn 2 million while you're still thinking about building roads for 500,000 people. So government needs to start thinking ahead. I mean, start doing long-term planning, not just this short-term, you know, political campaign kind of planning, but more so things that will definitely benefit the wider society and in the long run.
Yeah, so moving on, let's take a look at caste system, which is still happening in 2022. You know, as on Foray there, we have that Stunning Kara Foundation appeals for Islamic Council's intervention to resolve caste issue in their communities. Well,
I mean, this has been a sensitive issue. I think it has created a lot of tension, especially in those communities. And I think there needs to be more civic education, but also more engagement with the communities to know, like, times are changing. People are moving, and what the law says is that everybody is equal. And I think issues should be discussed along that way. Of course, social issues are very close to the people's heart, but there are ways that, I mean, through education and all those things, I think it could be addressed. And I'm happy that they also engage in religious leaders in the process to ensure that perhaps that will help address the situation. But of course, it's a sensitive issue.
But a lot of sensitization has been done. You know, I can remember activists going down to the ground, you know, to do. I can remember the late Sisi Sawane. That was part of the last projects that she did, and there's no changes. So apart from education, I don't know what else can be done. I know Mr. Mboj will say I'm too radical when it comes to this.
I mean, you know, people have been living in this way maybe for thousands or you know, hundreds of years. I mean, you cannot just come and change it overnight. I mean, it requires talking to people. It requires, I mean, dialogue. It requires a lot of processes that will help people to unlearn some of the things that they have learned over the years. And it's always difficult. And Gambians, you know, we keep saying that Gambians are always very resistant to change. And if you bring that down to maybe perhaps the communities, it's also there. Because the issue is not only about you know, social relationship. It's also about power relationship. Who controls the power within society? I mean, now, of course, things are changing. I mean, economically, people are from all sides are making it. And at the end of the day, we need to look at what factors are still helping to maintain the structures and try to see how best we can address them. So our intervention must be intentional. It must be people-driven. It is the locals that must, I mean, drive this change and show that they're also interested in that. But just for civil society and activists just go talking, I mean, it might work, but it will take longer time.
Yeah,
if you believe that, okay, this is how my grandparents lived. I mean, for a very long time, and still I have to live that way. And my kids also have to take that path. So this is going to be the biggest problem. I can remember some few years ago, there was a similar incident in Diabugu, whereby it is said particular set of people will not pray in a particular mosque. So it brought a whole lot of chaos and a whole lot of problems in that community.
And Balde, I think I really agree with what you're saying. I can remember on Youth Dialogue, I interviewed a Sarahule girl, and we were talking about the fact that sometimes Sarahules are not educated and they're married off. I got attacked on social media, got bullied, like to an extent. So I was like, when is change going to come? Just talking about the reality of a particular set of people that can change it gradually, because she is an example of a young Sarahule girl, quite educated. I know that is changing, but we just saw the need to talk about it, and then later I was bullied online and all of that. So at the end of the day, where are we heading to if we don't want to accept these little things? Our
role is to discuss the issue, and then we present it there, and then, you know, how people are going to react, I think, I mean, is theirs in terms of some will want to be defensive, some will want to see it in a negative light. But I think what is important is to realize that, I mean, Gambians are Gambians. We are all people, we are all humans, we have feelings, and at the end of the day, the way to change our society is to understand the feelings of others, people that we've been marginalizing for a very long time, like women, even minority groups today, you know, and these are all issues that are discussed, I mean, issues that are related to intergroup relations, and how do we deal with these intergroup relations. I think this is where our you know, academia and all those other aspects need to come in for us to understand this more, and then be more able to engage and openly.
Yes, let's talk about. We did not catch up on you on the elections. I think you're coming here since. I mean, this is an opportunity.
That's why I'm saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, that's why you said Happy New Year. So because the Supreme Court here affirms their decision on UDP's election petition case. But before we go into that, how did you just see the elections generally? It came as a surprise to a lot of people, considering the margin between the United Democratic Party and MPP. Was that the same concept you had?
Yeah, I think after the election I wrote and said, and I agreed why Gambians elected Barrow, and I've seen that this election, to me, based on all the elections that I've observed, I think this has been one of the most, transparent elections that I've seen. And also we've seen, in terms of the observation, the credibility of the process based on, the issues that we have also observed. And for me, the amount of people that turn out to vote, we're talking about 89%, is unprecedented. It talks about having a lot of people, almost 89% of the population turning out to vote. That is unprecedented. And for me, these are issues, that we need to highlight. And I think also the other aspect is that our electoral process are no longer left to the IEC. We've seen through the process where civil society have been to court. Yes, international observers are also coming. But locally, people are also going through the court system, like we've seen with the UDP case, also trying to say, well, we disagree with the results, therefore we need to, get remedy. And then they went to the Supreme Court. So these are issues that speak for me to the strengthening of democracy in Gambia, and I think we need to celebrate and ensure that we consolidate it.
So there's this perception that the election was the Gambian people against the United Democratic Party. I've heard that phrase a lot of times. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, like if you listen, people voted for different reasons, and most of the people tend to, given the results, because for me personally, I was not expecting that margin. I think, for me, I thought initially it could have gone either way, but then seeing that, then it speaks to that majority of people, as much as it was an evaluation on Barrow, it was equally an evaluation on the UDP. And of course, people preferred NPP, and election is about choices. People prefer NPP, and therefore that is...
That is what they've decided. But I'm aware that the second petition that they filed, it's not actually a petition. It's just trying to make sure that the petition that they filed prior is given consideration, is also dismissed by the Supreme Court. But anyway, I think we will just forge ahead as a country, considering Barrow will be inaugurated on January 19, and we just come as a country and just have a country to build and move forward.
Yeah, I saw earlier some time ago that UDP said they're going to focus on the National Assembly election, and I think, that is one thing that we really want to see, because moving ahead, as much as NPP is going to be there, it's not safe to have, MPs from just one political party. We need to see a vibrant and diverse National Assembly where we have parties, party representatives from different, so that we can have serious debates that need, to address the challenges of the country. And since that they say they're going to focus that, I think that's a good strategy to ensure that they're still needed, they're still relevant in Gambian society. Winning one election, losing one election is not the end. There's a need to continue building and moving forward. Yeah,
I think the diversity is needed at the National Assembly. Then it's not called a National Assembly, because who is debating amongst who at the end of the day? And that actually we will be so prone to dictatorship.
Of course, it's going to be like easy for the ruling party. Anything
to just
that comes,
go,
you just,
forge ahead with anything.
Most likely.
Yes. So I'm afraid you're not leaving us now. You're staying with us, and we'll be discussing on our social issues as well.
Okay.
So how man dele kamburu? Yo orang manduru ko bukan buru desi.
Man jawla sante santuma gay. So there's a difference.
There's a difference, right? So ame coffee yangi ba yo nak.
Man Paul la.
Yo Paul ka. Yo londe woyete.
Man suma ame show mangi cool.
So ame so yangi cool. Man nak dama bukan buru man. So we will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll just have a chit chat on bread shortage, as well as rise in prices as well. I think people are selling it for $10, and it's not even available at some point. Bubo ba ñun ñep ñu delu wat ciosan rek di nan ruy. So we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to that. Do stay tuned.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunu Kalpe.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and we decided to keep our newspaper review guest to discuss with us a little bit on a very pressing social issue happening right now in the country, as there's a bread shortage. And allegedly hoarding is also happening, but also the Ministry of Trade has also come out to say that the two companies that are actually manufacturing this in the country, some is because of NAWEC, because of failed generators. Another one got its millet supply quite late. So I just don't know what to believe and what not to believe right now.
I mean, I think for me, I was expecting that 2022 would be a very difficult year, but
Already?
I mean, like, is post-COVID perhaps,
yes,
post-COVID, things will be opening expensive and all those different stuff. But, I mean, I'm worried in the sense that, I mean, before the election, it was fuel shortage, and now we're talking about bread shortage. I mean, in a country. I think that is worrying. You know, there are different stories. Government is saying one thing, and
so that's why I can't walk around.
Yeah, and just like bread, from $7 to $10 is now, and sometimes it's not even available. I mean, that is worrying. And the issue for me with bread, I mean, the other day I was looking at the woman that sells, you know, opposite my house. I mean, she sells nearly an akra, and that is the way she earns her own living. And she earns living when there is availability of bread. Students going to school, especially in the urban areas, they need all those things. How can we allow, you know, that thing to go missing in this country? And I think it is worrying. Perhaps also, like you were saying, it's necessary now we start, you know, discussing about alternatives. And I mean, and I remember growing up, it used to be chura and rui. I mean, they were the very.
You know, now people are used to bread. I mean, chura, even if you use it for 2-3 days, I mean, you miss bread. You can take chura for 1 week. But I mean, Said Marty, to be very serious in this country, don't you think we should also see harvest to do our own production? I mean, most of the things we eat, we import them in this country.
I mean, like, you see, you're talking about a country. Before you become a country, it's about, you know, being able to feed yourself. I mean, we cannot feed ourselves. That's the hard fact. We prefer, I mean, we have the money, we prefer buying everything from outside. I mean, but that's not sustainable. What is sustainable is that we use the land that we have. We use our natural resources and start producing. What is it, you know, they use wheat to make flour. You know, why not? Can we grow that? We can grow it here.
Yeah. And according to them, one of the companies is because of the wheat supply came late. That's why they could not do the production. So that's not an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot, I mean, outsource everything about our lives to the outside world. We need to contribute. At least let's take, I mean, that opportunity to have food self-sufficiency that is locally grown, and then let us start enjoying Gambia.
Well, not only maybe growing things on our own, but also the manpower, the people that does the job. I mean, here, a particular people, if they sit, a set of people, and they say, no, they are not baking today, there will be no bread. So I think it's important for Gambians to take up these jobs and be very serious.
But Said Mati, recently, myself and Balde and Ade had a debate about price control. Hanga fi mu nekk ni ku independent dang fi toog dinañ xam da yow loo doon wax ndax jaar na yoon ndax jaarul yoon Balde is trying to say that government should intervene. You control price. Debate bi daal man ak Ade ñu ne ko.
waaw
mais ma de.
dëgg la
non yaa ngi ma daanal wala doo ma may ma daanal
léegi lifi na.
so Balde is saying government comme gis nga Yaay Jammeh lu mu daan def Tabaski su jotee mu jënd ay xar ici. wàññi price bi di ko jaay mu ne moom dafa support loolu. léegi ñun ñu ne ko. loolu is more detrimental si ñun ba pare is not sustainable benn Tabaski la rek mu ñëw wàññi bagage jaay. waaye ñun nanguwuñ ne government dafa war a dugal loxoom. directly pour control price ci dëkka parce que free market la waaye mu ne moom considering the poverty in the country loolu moo feasible yow
exactly no seen mati balaa ngaa ñëw baal man ma ñëw after nga compare ñaari two sides of the story nga dégg ko xam nga comme lu ma wax mooy tey da ngaa gis price yi yëpp ñu ngi éeg da ngaa dem marché tey yaa ngi war a jënd last time maa ngi laaj suma jawal ma ne ko ne diwlin ñaata la amoon bu ma wax man diwlin time bu ay $7 la ko bàyyi léegi éeg na understand
xorom ñaata la
mënuma xam man time boobu noonu xorom suñ ko
ay dalasi
ak yooyu noonu waaye léegi you cannot have that da ngaa gis affaire si yëpp éeg na ma ne ko ne nguur bi dañ war a def dara dañ war a taxaw because xam nga tey soo gisee tey ñun ñu vote in nguur dañ bugga pour dunda bi yomba si dëkk soo ñoom ñoo war a taxaw ñu wax si yi ba pare try pour contrôle ko
waaw mu ne seen loxo ñu dugal ko si
ma ne ko ne soo gisee time boobu noonu amoon na benn Tabaski bucca yaa ngi doon jaayee lifin how to call it yàppa at a very high price Yaay Jammeh indi ay nagam rendi joxe ñu ko at lu yomba ma ne ko ne man support naa loolu
but how long la loolu continue tamit
no loolu was after Tabaski understand waaye ñun si ñun yi nga xam ne ñun amuñoon xaalis pour dem jëna ñun loolu moom was good for us.
Good. I mean like you know the debate li laa nekk di dégg si society bi all the time I mean fii 2 points moo fi nekk government should intervene or is a private market boobu like that's a debate boo xam ne mu ngi nekk di happen and I think these debates are important fii a lot of people perhaps mënuñu man nekkuma economics so I cannot speak you know more to why we are suffering or the way that we are but xam naa ne the reason why tamit price mun a increase maybe perhaps is the fact ne we are importing and right now if you look at our port is kind of I mean people will have their containers there and it takes a while I mean are they paying for that you know there are a lot of factors yoo xam ne moo nekk di contribute to price waaye to have government intervene free market ñoom gars free market yi ñoom bëgguñ loolu noonu they feel ne you know the market should regulate itself and I think that's where the difference is but man problem bu ma am with price control tey su fekkee ne man dama jënd like I buy coffee it is costing $50 ma ñëw bëgg koo jaay yow léegi government nga ne ma I have to for $55 yow government léegi nga ne ma I will sell it for $45 I mean you're fixing a problem but you're also creating a problem because even the people ñoo xam ne ñu ngay jaay maybe there are people ñoo xam ne they are dependent on them seen businesses bi ak naka la gaay nekke so there's a way man I feel ne I mean ñuy produce more try to liggéey ñun tamit ñuy liggéey
man dem naa to a naar shop ma laajte saaku maalo ma ne ko ne li ñaata la mu jaay ma ko time man dama di jaay jëlee saaku maalo like $1,350 ma dem foofu noonu mu ne ma ne is $1,450 ma dem si beneen shop bi kooku mu ne ma ne $1,350 and it's all the same brand the same maalo la you know te man time boobu foofu loolu laa ko dee jëndee so dafa mel ni kii dafa increase price bi
def ko lu ko ne waaye yow am nga choice pour daagu si beneen shop dem jënd ko foofu ndax du
what about ku amul choice
ku nekk am na choice
am nga choice pour dem feneen
noonu maybe kooku xamul
waaye Gambien si yow gis nga ne soo demee dugga place mu cher danga ko ne xaaral ma seet fii ñëwaat loolu is just a normal behavior
xanaa nguur bi duñ mun a ne léegi dañ bëgg a maalo bi su ñëwee lii ngeen koo jaay
so man comme like nguur bi léegi xanaa dafa subsidize whether they are gonna subsidize the rice ak yooyu noonu I mean in sense ne
tax waivers
waaw tax waivers ak yooyu noonu I think at some point those things used to happen maybe that can help nga xam ne da ngaa gis ne su fekkee ne jaaykat bi dafa complain on the cost of the tax maybe loolu mun na faa nekk but then da ngaa gis ne yeneen cost bi dafa related to also to I mean transportation beeg fuel bi mu ngay yokku all the time I mean there are a lot of issues yoo xam ne our government need to educate us and understand our local economy understand ñu seet naka la ñoo mun a find a way towards it, because of course the hard thing, Monica, the cost of living is increasing, and when cost of living is increasing and there is nothing behind to address that, salary yoku, nothing is increasing, people will find it hard, and when people find it hard, so the social vices, you get complain about where is it happening? And the other problem, Monica, in this country, we have a lot of corruption. You know, some people are being marginalized because of the issue of corruption also is in the process. So how do we address all these different issues? Fogna didn't help to address the everyday problems.
Government, we review civil service pay, we process currently. We recently teachers they make a lot of noise. Why GTU gain and they are not disadvantaged. So you have just the final process. Put you have increment be nakala momel ak dina favor teachers yi ak just civil service in general, because yow so hole salary average Gambian bi yow lolu mënulo say safe.
I mean,
dafeewuloo ko sax nga ne da ngaa dem dugal account.
tey soo xoolee suñ dëkk bi suñ healthcare system bi is problematic. You need money pour nga mun a dem faju. Education is expensive. You need money, and all these things are like responsibility of the family.
Individual.
léegi tey da ngaa xool man ma dee wax ne comme ñun suñ generation we are the most affected because ñu ñoo nekk middle. We have elder parents yoo xam ne we are taking care of, and then ñu ngi am xale yoo xam ne ñu ngi ñëw yet you know we cannot have enough boo xam ne dafa sustain moo tax yéen nga gis yéen boys yi dee dugg si migration bi jigéen ñi sax ñu ngi see bokka you know frustrated and going. So da ngaa gis ne I mean how do we address these issues moo nekk wax bi man feel naa ne I mean right now dañu war a commencer di xool ñun lan lañ moom as country. am nañ géej suñ géej bi how is it benefiting us? We can sell and then get stuff, invest, you know, get young people to start working.
Dependency ratio bi tam dañ si war a wax de.
It's serious.
We are tired of talking about this all the time. We have this, we have that. Our young people should be involved. Ba léegi dara xew, nothing. It's still there.
I mean, people, you see, like, talking would not, you know, wanting things to happen, it would not happen. That's why I said ligay, because at the end of the day, people must get up and then do stuff. And when you work, whether you're working to earn for yourself, you're working for the country. And then lola niti wara ham. When you earn, you will not depend on the country. And at the end of the day, that is gonna help. But what is important, Monica Tay, you am natural resources. We are not talking about those issues. We are not talking about our ocean, land more neka. We are talking about 200 nautical miles. How many things you have the free economic zone to that? Let us exploit those issues. You said how we can invest it in the economy. You said nakala nyo boost that. Well, tay ñu ngi am military. We are talking about rice mu ngi seer. And then the military had a project. Do have dañ bëggoon get involved in agricultural production. I mean, because people just keep shouting, oh, the military should not do that. The military should not do that. But today, military be am engineering corps. There are a lot of places you have they need access roads. Can we use them? Like they are there. Can we use them? You said Halis bo hamne munge dem ñu ko invest fofu non. There are ways you hamne mun nañu def business as a country. Nga hamne dinañ mëna you know ñu mëna create employment but also uplift people from poverty.
Waaw parce que dependency ratio bi tam dafa bari. Da nga gis nit kuy liggéey ci family nga gis ñu tok. Parce que diwa ngay liggéey rek mom daf every month dafa wara génné li jox ma. Yeneen dikay lolu amu fa da nga independent, you have bills to pay. Am nga rent pour fay, am nga téléphone bill.
Waaw xam nga ñun comme suñ society bi ñu ko setopé ñun loolu lañ xam noonu lañ grow.
Waaye foog ñu change ko nag if not dañoo wallow in poverty.
Waaye things yi léegi man dañ daan wax yooyu noonu waaye I feel that things are changing also. Dama naan xool suñ koñ booy ñu naan booy toog koñ rek. Waaye booy si léegi they are going out, they are working.
ñu ngi liggéey.
I mean su fekkee it's gonna be seasonal so they are working because tey yaa ngi soxla credit yaa ngi soxla internet. There is a lot of things that you need. I mean kam moo la ko may. But there are a lot of people ñoo xam ne tamit they need to be inspired. ñu mun a génn government create the enabling environment pour nit yi génn mun a liggéey.
Waaw Omar P mu ngi si line bi fi mu nekk ni Ibrahima. So Omar P Jallow, thank you so much for joining us. So Omar P will help us understand what is happening at the Independence Stadium ahead of tomorrow's inauguration of President-elect Adama Barrow. Omar, are you there?
Yes, Jennifer, I'm hearing you loud and clearly.
Yeah, so what are some of the preparations underway as we speak?
Thank you very much, Geneva. As you can see from the background, preparations are on final touches. As you can see, behind me is the tent where the expected heads of states are expected to be seated together with the President-elect, Adama Barrow. before he will be called to the middle of the field, where he will be taking the oath of secrecy and allegiance. And also on the covered pavilion is where the dignitaries, other dignitaries of, for example, heads of departments and institutions are also going to be seated, and the rest of the pavilions will be occupied by party supporters and Gambians in general, who will be coming to grace the occasion. And preparation, as I said earlier, is actually on high gears. And as you can see, also the media house, different media houses are also setting up ahead of the events tomorrow, testing their materials, also painting. Other soldiers, security officers are also busy picking the litters around the stadium, both in and outside the stadium, also ensuring that the environment is clean. Also, others are busy painting. These are some of the things I've observed since I arrived here, Geneva. And I've talked to also, I caught up with Colonel Mane, who actually declined speaking to us on camera for security reasons, who is the ADS attached to President Macky Sall, who is also expected to grace tomorrow's inauguration of or swearing in ceremony of President-elect His Excellency Adama Barrow.
Yes, so over there I see some chairs. So is there spacing? Because today I can see that we have 1,000+ COVID-19 cases. So is there spacing a little bit when it comes to the chairs that I'm seeing behind you there in relation to COVID-19 prevention?
Jeneba, one can say the seating arrangement is not yet finalized, so it will definitely be premature to conclude whether there is enough spacing or not, because it's still now, as you can see from the background, they're still, fixing the tents. So it is not yet final, dawned, so to know whether there is spacing, enough spacing in the seating arrangement or not. But what I can tell you is definitely, I believe it is going to, they are going to ensure that the seating arrangement also actually, they put into consideration that we are in the COVID-19 era, and they have to ensure that the people coming are safe and goes back to their origin, countries of origin safely without any, infections.
Yeah, so just finally, due to time constraints, is the military there and the police? Because I'm aware that they'll be having a very interesting parade. Can you see them there, or they're yet to come for their rehearsal?
The security forces I see around are not actually here for drilling or rehearsals, as you put it. They're actually here, some of them painting, some of them picking the litters around, like I said earlier on. But I've not seen a sign of any security, forces around for rehearsals. All I see them do. Those of them here, I saw them. I see them. Some of them painting, some of them picking the litters. That's what I see them do, and not anything like rehearsing for the drill for tomorrow's
All right,
event,
thank you
Geneva.
so much, Omar P. Jallo. I'm aware that their rehearsals ended yesterday, which shows that they're prepared. They're prepared for a beautiful parade tomorrow, inshallah. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Omar P. Jallo, there at the Independence Stadium, giving us information in relation to preparation of President-elect Adama Barrow's inauguration tomorrow. Thank you so much. Said Mati, thank you so much. Any final words on the bread scarcity and shortage?
Well, I think government needs to start thinking.
Shortage, scarcity, the same thing.
Yeah.
My editor is here. I don't want to be caned.
I mean, for me, I think government needs to start focusing on service delivery, because we are talking about this country being a democratic society. I don't think democracy goes alone. It must come with socio-economic development. I think this is what is, being dictated, at least from the public's perception, that the government needs to start addressing. I think government needs to start focusing on public service delivery, and addressing those issues also require increasing income of the people, but more so also on the addressing some of the urgent issues like bread, which the seconds and gains.
Yes.
So we'll be very happy to have. Thank you for having me.
So, man, mom, I am safe, right? Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Looking forward to engaging you throughout this period, as the parliamentary election is April 9th, am I right? 9, yes. 2022. Looking forward to that. So we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Adi Drami to tell us what is happening in the world of sports. We'll be right back.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Now we're joined by Adi Drami to take us through what is happening in the world of sports.
Yeah, I guess you guys have discussed one of the big stories already, and that's what's coming out of the Gambia camp. We're not the only camp that's had that sort of thing. Gabon as well. Aubameyang has been sent back, and there are all sorts of rumors. They've claimed it's an injury. But rumors are circulating online, including from some of my former BBC colleagues, that he wasn't injured, and he's been sent back rather as a disciplinary measure. So we don't know what the truth of it is. But I guess Aubameyang, who's gone back to Arsenal, will probably confirm, because I guess he might want to clear his name. And of course, similarly with Steve Trawali, you know, the claims are. We talked about this, and I heard you guys discuss it earlier, talked about, you know, the press release that was put out is a bit unfortunate, because if you are saying the player claims to have an injury, you're kind of impugning, you know, his integrity, sort of saying, you know, he claims. Either says he has or he hasn't, you know. So that's a bit unfortunate. But anyway, back to yesterday's matches, a roundup. First group to be concluded, although before the last matches were played, and they can roll the tape now. We knew who was going to go through, because Cameroon, at least we knew, had gone through because they'd won their first two matches. They wanted to have a perfect record. They wanted to finish with 9 points and win the group, which would have meant they'd won every match. They played Cape Verde. Their game ended 1-1. And Vincent Aboubakar, captain of Cameroon, is showing once again, leading by example, scored yet another brilliant goal, and you know, he's been really the man of the tournament so far, certainly as far as Cameroon fans are concerned. However, Cape Verde knew that a draw would give them a strong position, and a win would have put them in an even better position. And Gary Rodriguez, one of their star forwards, scored a quite fantastic goal to level the scores, and the scores ended 1-1. So at the moment, from that group, Burkina Faso also through, and they took on Ethiopia in the other game in that group. Again, ended 1-1. Burkina Faso took the lead and looked like they were going to romp away with it. And in a way, it's good that it ended 1-1, because I think Ethiopia, I've been really rooting for them. They're the only team that has all home-based players in this tournament. All the other teams have got players playing abroad, and they've looked really good, really skillful.
Is that a good thing?
It's a good thing in the sense that it shows that you can do that and you can still compete. And so it would have been a shame if they'd lost all their matches. People would have said, oh, well, there you are, It shows that, you can't rely on completely home-based players. So, thumbs up to Ethiopia. They equalized with a penalty in the second half and justly at least ended with 1 point. And so in the group, Cameroon finished top. Burkina Faso finished second on 4 points. And Cape Verde also on 4 points. Same goal difference as Burkina Faso. But Burkina Faso go through because in what they call the head-to-head, in their match against Cape Verde, they won. And so they go ahead. Otherwise, it would have been quite difficult to separate them because they had the same goal difference.
Oh, okay.
And, they're not using goal difference. They're using points and also game, head-to-head. So that was that. And it was really good football all around, really good games because everybody had something to play for. Yeah. And I think that's what you tend to get when, it reaches the conclusion stages. So that was that one, Group A is concluded, everything is sorted out. However, we send condolences to the Ivory Coast goalkeeper. Yeah. The day after he made a complete mess of, collecting a pass, really, that led to Sierra Leone getting the equalizer, which meant the game finished 2-2. Yesterday morning, he woke up to the news that his father had passed away in Ivory Coast. And so CAF and FIFA have sent their condolences, and we do as well. Young man, I think he's 22 years old. We wish him and the family, all our condolences. But also good news for another goalkeeper, and that's Edouard Mendy of Senegal, Senegal's #1 keeper. Yeah. The FIFA awards were held yesterday, and he was awarded world's best goalkeeper.
Wow. Amazing.
The world's best, no less. And so, congratulations to him. Yes, he won that award.
The whole world.
For the world, the whole wide world.
Wow.
He is the Messi of the goalkeepers.
He's the Messi of the goalkeepers. There was also a special award for Cristiano Ronaldo because he's now scored 115 international goals. Nobody has scored more international goals.
Not even Messi, right?
Messi's not even close in terms of international goals.
I love
Ronaldo is like
Ronaldo.
40 behind Ronaldo. He's well behind Ronaldo in terms of international goals.
So why are they calling Messi the GOAT then? Cristiano Ronaldo is the GOAT.
No. Messi is because of his skills and everything else.
Messi can play better football. He is good.
If you like football that's pleasing on the eye, Messi is the guy for you. But Maradona was better than both of them. So,
Why do they call people
that's
GOAT?
GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
Well, if you say GOAT like that, people will...
No, those who know...
It's a goal and it's still...
No, those who know, they know. And then today's games, interesting one. Malawi against Senegal.
Long way.
And also Zimbabwe against Guinea-Conakry. And then, in a really crucial group, you got Gabon against Morocco, and then you got Ghana against Comoros. GOAT has been used for about 15 years, so it's not funny anymore.
I was thinking it's a goat and it's tail.
God, what planet are you on? But anyway, so today's games, at 3 o'clock, you've got Malawi, Senegal, then 4 o'clock, Zimbabwe against Guinea, and then 7 o'clock, Gabon, Morocco, and then Ghana against Comoros. Comoros is their first tournament, and they're not done particularly well, but we wish them well. So it should be another round of exciting games, but it would be good to get a statement from the Gambia Football Federation to actually clear up all this stuff that's being talked about.
Mr. Ade, it will
regarding
be
Traoré.
very disappointing to Gambians if Steve happens to leave at this sensitive time. Because, I mean, many people are asking why is Steve still not playing.
Well, he's been on the bench, and the team has progressed. They've had a draw, and they've had a win and a draw, and they've got 4 points. They're in a good position. A draw or a win in the next match takes them through. For me, I don't care whether you're in the team or not, just because you're my favorite player. If the team is doing well, that's all I care about, and that's all we should care about. And I gave the analogy of England when they won the World Cup in 1966. Their best forward, Jimmy Greaves, had an injury. He missed and he was dropped. Even when he was fit, he wasn't picked. And the man who was picked to replace him ended up being the tournament top scorer and scored a hat-trick in the final when they beat Germany. So sometimes these things can work out, so for me, I'm not fussed. I'm not worried.
Yeah. And for me, Mr. Ade, I think it is important that Gambians trust their coach. It's important that we trust our coach.
But you know, most countries where people love football, they never trust the coach.
Yeah.
Everybody who is a football lover thinks they know better than the coach.
Yeah.
You know, I know friends who supported Manchester United even when Alex Ferguson was winning the league. They were winning the double, they were winning the treble. They were still criticizing him.
Yeah.
They wanted more. I don't know what they wanted him to do. And so you'll all get that when people are into football. They always think they know better than the coach. And it's been no different. I mean, I've seen the criticism from some of the top journalists in this country, and also just from fans, or, you know, saying you should pick this person, you should pick that person. They even criticized the squad. When they picked it, they didn't say, oh, great, these are the guys going forward. Half the conversation was about the guys who weren't picked.
Yeah, and you can't pick everyone.
You know, get real, you know, and then, you know, for us to go, you know, we're not Belgium, we're not Brazil. We're not going to go and blow teams away. Every team that we are facing in this competition is ranked higher than us, every team. So, you know, the only team ranked lower than us is Comoros, and they've gone out, you know. So we need to get real, you know. If we draw or beat teams, that's a fantastic result.
And
for people to start screaming, we should
also,
beat them 2-0, 3-0. That's rubbish.
Is it really good for a team just to be around one person at the end of the day?
Well,
it's supposed to be a team, being on the bench or not, or playing.
No, I mean, it shows the fact that the team has progressed without him playing shows that the team is not around one person. The fans love him, and it's about that. Okay. You know, the fans, it's like, we want to see Steve, we want to see Steve.
Yeah.
And they become obsessed with this thing to the extent, you know, every game, win or draw, why wasn't Steve picked?
Yeah.
Forget it. Did the team progress? Did
That's
they
the
win?
big
Yes,
question.
they won.
Yeah.
You know, forget about Steve. You know, just concentrate on the team. This team is doing Gambia proud, and they've made the whole world sit up and take notice. And that's what people should be celebrating, not whether Steve is in the team or not.
Yeah, but anyway, if Steve really has that injury, we're sending him some love and light, you know.
Yeah, well, we are. I think everybody, you know, we wish him well, and you know, it's unfortunate if it is genuine, then, you know, but I can't imagine that a player will pull out just because he hasn't played in 2 games, because there are games to be played. You know, if they draw or win, you know, the dream continues, and you know, the adventure continues for the Gambia. So I can't see a player pulling out for that. So, you know, I think we need to be careful where people are kind of speculating, but the press release doesn't help.
But it's because of the press release, because of the word claim. They could have said he pulled out, or
because
it is confirmed that he has an injury.
That's right. But in fact, it says the player claimed, which not like, oh, the team doctors assessed him and confirmed. So they really need to check that, because that's bad. Yeah. And it's cast a shadow over what so far has been brilliant for the Gambia.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Adedrami, for joining us.
Thank you.
It's always good to have you here.
Always good to be here.
Yeah,
and looking forward to the game on Thursday.
And as I said, I'm going to go out and buy a football, and if Gambia wins, I'll come here and I'll juggle.
If Gambia wins, we're going to have a little post right there, and the 3 of us will have to like play a little football.
Yeah, I think so. I think
we
that's
need to do that,
Ibrahim.
You're not playing.
Yeah. I'm the GOAT presenter.
You're the GOAT. He said he's the GOAT presenter. Greatest of all time, right?
He is. I think that's, you know, because
he's our Komla Dumo.
He is indeed. He is indeed.
Anyway, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the click segment. Do stay tuned. GOAT.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the Q Money platform With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q-Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q-Money and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your Q-Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q-Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q-Power and other Q-Money services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q-Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am Q-Cell. I am Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with the GOAT.
Yeah,
Huh?
and we have the good artist in the studio.
Yes, click segment.
Good morning, Geneva. Good morning, Balle. It's always a pleasure to be on this platform. And as I promised you yesterday, I have one of the best rappers in the game right now. You know, talking about punchlines, you know, metaphors, he gives us everything. I'm talking no other than Mike Jada, king of the rap.
QTV, you know. That's how I say everybody watching right now. It's your boy Mike Jada in the building. Latikuna Savage, you live though. We're live.
We're live in your.
Yeah.
So Mike,
Yo.
you've been so silent. What's wrong?
Yeah, as of recent, I'm working on my album. Yeah, the title of the album is Sikausi Kanam. It's the reason why I've not been releasing songs as of recent. But we're coming.
We're coming.
Yeah, if you know me, you know I'm coming.
Right. So, Mike Jada, you've been calling yourself king of rap.
Yeah.
Like, why that name though? What have you accomplished to call yourself the king of rap? First of all,
it's not about like accomplishments. Like since the first time I came into the rap game,
yeah,
that's a task I put on my head that I'm going to be the rap king. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like coming into the game, like with the kind of work I put in when it comes to this pop rapping thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not downgrading any Gambian rapper though. I've seen rappers doing great stuff.
Right.
But in my head up here, like I don't believe that like somebody could rap like to a level more than the level I'm rapping on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even though people don't have equal opportunities, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can be a better rapper than you and you're bigger than me in the scene.
But so
lyrically,
okay,
I don't feel like no rapper is ahead of me.
Is ahead of you.
Lyrically, yeah.
But some of your fellow artists didn't take that well.
Yeah,
I'm talking about how to call it, Mass 187.
Yeah.
I watched one of his interviews and he was like, Mike deserves a slap for calling himself the Gam Rap King. Like when you get a response like that, how do you react?
No, I don't really I take those kind of responses personal though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Right.
Like he believes in himself, likewise me. If I believe that I'm the king of this rap and he doesn't, like it's more like of his opinion. You know what I'm saying? And this is rap, this is hip hop, like it's a like competitive like genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I say I'm the rap king and he say it is not, I just took it like it's a normal thing.
It's a normal
like
thing.
It's an opponent, yeah.
Okay, right. So we'll head straight to your video.
Yeah.
You know, you've been dropping amazing videos, so we'll just watch one of your videos and we'll be right back with Mike Jada. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm what killer boy.
It's Drill Life music.
Play was. Hey, Stays on my grind, get that money, don't get fed up. Take all my homies in the club, you know we got turn up. Man get some my own, man get them yum yep them a cali. Still I'm balling harder, like I'm Steve Tarawali. Abu Bakar Tarawali. Still I'm balling harder, like I'm Steve Tarawali. Abu Bakar Tarawali, said I'm a superstar.
You know, see what?
Welcome.
This is the guy that raps, and I say to myself, is he from this side?
This side of the planet, you mean?
Yeah. He is good.
He is lyrically good. Metaphors, you know, all punchlines, he gives us everything. So Mike Jada will allow you to tell your fans what we're expecting from you in few days to come.
Yeah, in few days to come, like we head into Latvia, Latvia Cyber Music Festival 4.0. January 28th is going down at the SK East Mini Stadium, and I'm working on my album too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been dropping albums, but I'm working on mine, like to make sure that, you know what
Fire, we're expecting fire, as usual.
It's a whole different level, yeah.
So who are the artists that we're expecting to perform on that platform?
On the platform, we're going to have artists like ST, we're going to have people like Uche, you know what I'm saying, T, Achante and Hussein, and many more though.
Latrikuna, Latville, your very own Mike Jada. So what are your final words for the show?
The final word for the show, like shout out to QTV, shout out to everybody that's watching right now. It's good looking out though, it's all love.
It's all love. My love, bro, and thanks for coming. Yeah, that was all we had for you on this Click segment. You, as always, we give you the best artists in the game. Like I told you yesterday, and I delivered, I gave you Mike Jada. So y'all tune in on Thursday. I'm not going to tell you who I'm having, but it's going to be a surprise, a dope one. Stay tuned. Bye.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the Click segment. So the family Thursday lañ fay delu ci wat. Elegli amud this morning.
This morning amud. Why?
Why inauguration bi amna inshallah ñu tune in fofu nonu ngeen may ñu noppale ko rek defar wat Thursday ñu ñëwaat def fi leneen till we come your way on Thursday. Bye for now.
Ji kendomi annun ji senango adabe hadama dungula baluwole kono annun hadama dung ka fengo fengo dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senango ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadama dung mantora madum one stop water solutions limited ibe janne Gambia banko kan annun ye filtarole natal me yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senango natale Gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba one stop water solutions limited ye filtarole natal me yalo ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming Allah fala nyame naketa pompoti bang aboholo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solution siya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalonko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalonko acidiota aya dada aya senendi